Welcome to another edition of Hunt to Eat's Community Kitchen. My name is Michael Cravens. Dove season's right around the corner, and to get ready, we're straying from the traditional dove poppers and getting a little fancier. Today, we are doing Hank Shaw's grilled dove a la Mancha, and we'll be serving it over Spanish pasta with roasted red pepper sauce. But that's not all. Be sure to stick around afterwards for a pro tip at the end. Alright, so here's the ingredients we're going to need. We have got, starting from left and moving to the right, parsley, a penne pasta. You can use whatever pasta you want. Tomato sauce. In this case, we're only using a cup, so you don't need as much as I have here. A good Spanish red wine to drink with your meal, and of course while you're making it. A couple jars of roasted red peppers, a smoked Spanish paprika, some bay leaves, garlic, sage, good salt, a good olive oil, an onion. In this case, you only need one, Parmesan cheese, and of course your doves. So let's get started with our doves. Our birds here are whole and plucked. Plucking doves is super simple. The feathers just come right off. There's really no good excuse not to do it. So I recommend plucking your birds, and that's going to lend to a lot of different preparations other than just poppers or kebabs or bacon wrapped dove. In this case, we're just going to set these guys out, give them a good coat of salt, and let them come to room temperature. So while our doves are coming to room temperature, we're going to prep our vegetables. In this case, we've got our onion and our garlic, and we are going to get these diced up nice and small and ready to saute. So once we got our onions and garlic chopped up nice and small, we're going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil to our pan, and we are going to add our onions, we're going to add our garlic, and we're going to saute this over a medium-low heat. And while these are sauteing, we're going to move over and get to work on our roasted red pepper sauce. So in a food processor or a blender, we're going to do 1 cup of tomato sauce, followed by 2 drained jars of roasted red peppers. Now, when we blend these, we're going to want to do a good job of it. So, a couple minutes, maybe even up to 5 minutes, just keep an eye on it. And when it gets to a good consistency that's not too chunky, that's when you'll be done. I think this looks good. So back to our vegetables. I did let these get a little too hot and allowed some caramelization to occur. This is not a big deal in my world, but that's not how you're supposed to do it. Keep it low, keep them moving, sweat the vegetables, let them become translucent. I added a heaping tablespoon of the smoked Spanish paprika, mixed that in good, and now we're going to add our red pepper sauce. And after giving that a good mix, we're going to add some salt. And some pepper. Then we'll give it a good mix and let that sit on the stove on a low heat and just simmer. And while that's simmering, we're going to have a glass of wine. In full disclosure, I really don't know anything about this bottle of wine, but keeping with the Spanish theme, I asked my wife to pick up a bottle of Spanish wine. And as it turns out, this is really good, and it went really well with the meal. So back to our doves. Now we're going to take and stuff these little body cavities with herbs. We're going to do a couple leaves of sage along with a bay leaf. Now, I can't say that the flavor really comes through in the meat, but what does happen is whenever you bite into these, that aroma really comes through and changes the whole experience. So I think it's worth the effort in this case. Now, once our birds are all stuffed, then we're going to give them a rub down with some olive oil. I'm doing this by I just place a little bit of olive oil into a dish, give them a little dip, and then I just rub them down individually. And finally, another pinch of salt, and these guys will be ready to go on the grill. So just before we throw our birds on the grill, we are going to get our pasta done. All I'm going to do here is recommend that you follow the instructions that come with your pasta and cook it appropriately, because we don't want mushy pasta. And here we are finally at the grill. I am doing this on a hot charcoal grill. I even threw in a couple chunks of mesquite just for good measure. You can do this on a gas grill if you want. I wouldn't recommend the Traeger because you need a hot grill. So we're going to start with these guys set out on their backs, and we're going to cook them like that with the cover on the grill for a solid 6 minutes. But this is imperative. Don't go over 6 minutes. Set a timer and watch it, because the difference in a delicious, perfectly done medium rare dove and an overcooked delivery tough dove, well, it's just not very much time at all. So pay attention to this. Finally, after your 6 minutes are over, come back, flip these guys over on their breasts. The breasts set nicely between the grates in the grill, and we're going to do them 2 more minutes just to kind of crisp up that skin on the other side. And after a quick 2 minutes, it's time to pull these guys off, and the final step is going to be to give them a good dusting of paprika. And it is almost time to eat, but we do have one more step. We need to mix in our pasta with our roasted red pepper sauce. Then finally, just a couple finishing touches. We're going to use a nice sharp Parmesan and grate that over. You might notice my toy cheese grater. I lost my growing up cheese grater and I had to use the kids, and yeah, I kind of struggled with it. Also some fresh parsley. And then finally our doves a la Mancha. So there you have it. Man, I love dove poppers as much as anyone, and I make them every year, but it's nice to change it up sometimes. Enjoy. But don't leave just yet. Got a pro tip for you here at the end. After you have enjoyed all your little doves, save those carcasses. Throw them in a crock pot with some carrots, some onion, some garlic. Don't forget, they're already stuffed with herbs. Put them in the crock pot, leave them overnight, filled with water. The next day, you are going to have a fantastic stock. You can make soup, you can use it to braise, you can do whatever you want with it. It's good stuff though, and it came from otherwise trash. If you want to learn more about making stock, be sure to check out our bone stock video at the Hunt to Eat YouTube channel. Enjoy until next time. This is Michael Cravens, and this has been Hunt to Eat's Community Kitchen.